guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this one I'm going to be doing a part 2 of that orange Lamborghini build I did like about a year ago. And so I began by drilling the rivets on this brand new Lamborghini I have. As you can see, I'm showing you the interior detail, which is really nice actually. And then I pop out the window and I show you the body. I really like the offset stripe, looks really nice. Now I drill out the rivets on the donor car for the engine piece. And in the last video I had a lot of people ask which car it was, and it was this car, Cyber Speeder. As you can see, it comes with very nice detail, and then there's the engine piece we're going to use. Next I remove these wheels because I'm going to need to cut the rear bumper off and the wheels are blocking it. So I just remove them with some tweezers by prying them up. We don't need these pizza wheels no more. Since I have the wheels out of the way, I can begin to cut the rear bumper off. And to do so, I'm using a jeweler's saw to cut the plastic. And I cut the bumper right between the rivet, as you can see in the video. After a couple minutes of cutting, I finally get the bumper off. And as you can see, the cut isn't completely straight. So now I must sand the rear portion of the base flat. And now the base is flat. Now I work on the donor car. First I must get the spoiler off, and I'm also using the jeweler saw. After a couple more minutes, I finally get the spoiler off as well. And once again, I'm using my jeweler saw to cut the rear bumper portion off. But this time it took a bit longer because this is a different type of plastic than the Lamborghini base. It's more bendy and harder to cut. Finally, after quite a bit of cutting, I finally get the rear bumper off. I now begin to sand where the spoiler used to be. And here's how it looks when it's done. It's still a bit rough, but smoother than what it was before. Since I have everything cut off, I can now begin to sand the car to get it ready for paint stripper. I do this because my paint stripper isn't that powerful and sanding helps speed up the process. Now I also spent forever sanding the car, so I'm gonna save you some time and fast forward. Like 20 minutes later, I finally finished the car. I don't normally do this, but this time I included a time lapse of the paint getting stripped off. I mean, it's a little satisfying, but it doesn't really show a lot. Here's the car after paint stripper. Not much paint left, so the sanding really did help. I also sanded the car after I pulled it out of the paint stripper. I didn't do this on the orange Lamborghini, but this time I'm going to take the whole rear bumper off. And this part took maybe about a day, so I'm going to save you some time and fast forward. Now all that's left is a rear box. This looks a bit weird, so I'm going to have to cut it. I'm going to end up cutting it with a Dremel and a cutting disc. Because this is the only Cyber Speeder I have, I'm going to make molds with the engine piece. So here's mold number 1. See, it's flat. And then here's the one I'm going to use. As you can see, I already sanded it or used my Dremel to carve the back in order for it to fit on the Lamborghini. As you can see, I already cut the rear box off. So now the rear engine piece can fit way better. If you want to know how to make these molds, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video about it. Since all the sanding is done, I'll need to clean the car. And lucky for me, Super Clean sent me some of their products to test. They sent me the original Super Clean cleaner and degreaser, and the Super Clean all-wheel cleaner, and this actually removes rust stains, which is pretty cool for restorations. They even sent me the foam kind, and There's some in a can, and they sent me floor absorbent, which is really lightweight and absorbs more than clay. So what I'm gonna do is spray the original Super Clean on my car to clean it up to get it ready for paint. And I'll leave a link in the description for these products. And these work like really good. They work in like 30 seconds. That's how fast they work. Not only do they work fast, but they clean like just about anything. You can even spray it on your clothes and get a stain out. So I advise you to look into these products because they're really good. Before we move on, here are some examples what you can use Super Clean on. As you can see, there's before and here's after. You can see the inside of the burner is way cleaner. Now here's the wheel cleaner. As you can see, here's the before and here's after. The wheel looks way more shinier and cleaner. Brings back the real silver color. Here's another wheel. There's the before and then there's after. You can see the second picture is way more glossy. Here's the same wheel, but there's before and then here's after. The wheel is way more silver and way shinier. Alright, now back to the Lamborghini. I painted the rear bumper piece black. Then I used the same black to put a base coat on the Lamborghini. The black will bring out the color way more. Here's how the Lamborghini looks after a couple coats of blue paint. As you can see, the blue looks really awesome. Now, since I have to detail the car, I have to clean my crusty brush with dried up paint on it. So, what I did is poured some Super Clean, the original. So, just swoosh it around a little bit. Alright, as you can see, it's now way better than it was before. Alright, now I'm going to get back to detailing the car. Since my brush is now clean, I begin to add white accents to the interior. And you can also see I did the engine part already. I did this off camera because it was hard to capture. After touching up the interior a bit more off camera, here's how it looks. As you can see, I added accents to the seat and the steering wheel. Here I detailed the headlights and taillights as well as an emblem off camera. I also added a couple coats of clear. Since in the last Lamborghini video, people kept asking for a spoiler, so I'm making one. I'll begin by cutting a little slit in a square styrene piece, and then I sand it with a circular file. Then I shape up to see if all the pieces match. Now I'm going to cut a similar side piece with a hobby knife. So I break it off and then I test fit it again. Then I score it again to look similar to the other piece. Then I rip it off with some tweezers and begin sanding once again. Now I'm making sure they look similar and have the same curve. Begin to sand them more to match. Then there's two other pieces. Now begin to paint the spoiler black. As you can see, as I begin to paint it, the spoiler starts to come loose from the tape, so I ended up doing the rest off camera. Here are the wheels I purchased off of eBay. I'm going to use these on the Lamborghini. These wheels look amazing and are worth the $9 I paid. As you can see, they come with red calipers, and they have very nice detail. They go perfect on this build. Since there's white accents in the interior, I will paint the lace part or the spokes of the rim white. I start with a toothpick, but later on off camera I begin to paint with a paintbrush. Alright, here are the wheels after I painted them white. They look tremendously better. These wheels will go great with the white accents in the interior. In this build, I want to try something different. So this is my first time polishing one of my cars. So I began to apply it on the clear coat. And this is for metal polish, but I want to see if it'll work for regular paint to see if it'll polish that. So I begin to spread the polish and rub it in, but I don't rub it in too hard. Since I applied polish to the whole car, I begin to rub it off with another clean cloth. At the start, the roof was a little matte and not shiny, but after a while, I began to rub it in and rub more, and it began to become shiny again. Now all that's left to do is rub all the car and buff out all the polish and see what the outcome is. As you can see, the car is slowly becoming shiny again. Here's how the car looks after a couple of minutes of hand polishing. In my opinion, the car looks way better and has an awesome glaze look. As you can see, the roof looks better and not matte. I installed all 4 wheels off camera and this is how it looks. I think the wheels fit the car awesome, and it still rolls. Before I glue the rear bumper piece on, I need to glue the car together, so I use a clear Gorilla Glue. The best thing about this glue is it dries clear and there's no fogging. The only downside to it is it takes a bit longer to dry. But in the end, it's really strong and it gives it a great look. Now all we have to do is wait for it to dry. Alright, here's the rear bumper piece now, painted and clear coated. So now, all I have to do is glue it on. So I apply some glue. And I applied a lot because I want this thing to stay on. Anyway, so now I glue it together and drop it. I had some trouble gluing this on. Since the glue takes a little bit longer to dry, I had to hold it there longer and it kept moving and not wanting to stay in one place. This is how I had to glue the spoiler. I had to back it up into another car to hold it in place.